Hey guys, welcome back. It's Missy, and today we're going to be talking about sneaky, covert ways the narcissist can gaslight you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like getting to the root of your issues and learning how to heal and deal. And also, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. So let's first explain gaslighting. I feel like gaslighting is a term that is used a lot and it gets very confused or people misuse it. So gaslighting is when a perpetrator psychologically manipulates a victim over an extended period of time that then causes the victim to question their perceptions of reality, their thoughts, and their memory. This then leads to confusion, feelings of being crazy, loss of confidence in oneself, and uncertainty in one's emotional and mental state. And it also causes a dependency on the perpetrator. Gaslighting is something that can be hard to detect because it is so sneaky and it's very much so hidden. And in my opinion, is the worst type of manipulation as it messes with your mental state. And your mental state is everything. You could have terrible things happening in your life, but as long as you have your mental sanity, you're Gucci. When you don't have that, the world looks very dark and it's really scary. But even though it's scary, there's things we can do to protect ourselves, one being educating ourselves. So we're going to talk about 3 sneaky ways that you may have not known was gaslighting and how a narcissist gaslights you. So to start things off, to understand a little bit why narcissists gaslight, it's because it's much easier to control you and manipulate you, which is one of their forms of supply, and it's a way that they feel validated and good is when they can manipulate and control people. It's much easier to manipulate and control someone where they question reality and they're forced to feel like they have to trust the abuser rather than trusting themselves, their own intuition and their own opinions and views and their own reality. So one of the first sneaky ways that you've been gaslit is that the narcissist will take things out of context. So what this means is that something may happen, but they'll make it look much worse than it actually is because they don't give the context of the situation. And then they will tell other people, make you look bad, part of that smear campaign, smearing your name, and they'll alter reality and get people on their side. And it continues that delusion that you are this certain negative person that they've made you out to be in their mind. And it furthers their narrative. So for example, let's say the narcissist came at you and started screaming at you. And you said, listen, if you keep screaming at me, I'm not going to talk to you. And so what the narcissist does in their mind is they take the I'm not going to talk to you. They completely wash out everything else and they take the I'm not going to talk to you. And then they go and they tell other people, yeah, I tried to have a conversation with them and they said they're not going to talk to me and they're really difficult and I'm trying to resolve things and they won't resolve anything with me. They just say they're not going to talk to me. So then people believe this story of, oh my God, like why is this person's partner so difficult that they won't talk to them, they won't resolve things? And it plants these little seeds in their mind. So how this further gaslights you is technically, yes, you did say you're not going to talk to them, but they completely negate the fact of why you had said that, the context of the situation. And so they'll do that a lot, and it gets to the point where it drives you crazy because now everyone's believing these things about you. They are not adding to the reasons why you are saying or behaving in certain manners when they're very much so most likely justified, and then it completely alters reality. So if you're ever in this situation where you feel like you're going crazy because the narcissist is taking things out of context, remember the full story, because when we're in our nervous system and we're in that fight, flight, or freeze response and the fawn response, we immediately get in the defense and we're like, oh my God, like I have to protect myself and my name and like not have people think these things about me. When you get to that point, think about, okay, don't focus on only the small thing they're focusing on because they're trying to get you to go down that rabbit hole. Instead, think, okay, what is the context? Why did I say that, or why did I do that specific thing? Because they're trying to paint this narrative that I am this certain person when in reality there's more to the story. Then you're less likely to go down that rabbit hole and you're able to be more firm in your reality of saying, okay, no, this is what had happened and this is why I did that. The next thing they will do is they will tell you your feelings. So here's the thing, this is what can be tricky about gaslighting is we all have different perceptions and memory. One person may remember something going a certain way and another person will remember it going another way. That doesn't necessarily mean that either person is right. They just perceived it and they remember it differently. And we can never really 100% prove which had happened. So if someone says, you know, that didn't happen, that doesn't immediately mean that they're gaslighting you. In their perception, in their view, they genuinely believe that's something that didn't happen. There's a difference between that versus if there's blatant evidence and someone's like, oh yeah, that didn't happen, even though like there's text or there's actual proof, then yes, that's perfect evidence to show that someone's gaslighting you. So there's a difference between that versus someone telling you, I never made you feel that way. Someone can't tell you how they did or they didn't make you feel. That is completely dismissing and invalidating someone's feelings and their experience. And that is a manipulation tactic. That's a way for them to not take responsibility and say, I didn't do this to you. Don't you dare say that I caused this feeling in you, because they can't handle that they made you feel a type of way. So what this would look like is if you went up to a narcissist and you said, hey, it really hurt my feelings when you started yelling at me about not taking out the garbage. Like I was having a hard day. I forgot about taking out the garbage. Like it just really made me feel bad about myself. And the narcissist will say, I never made you feel bad. I'm always kind to you and I'm always nice to you and I'm always understanding. I can't believe you would say those things about me. When they do that, they are completely minimizing your thoughts and your feelings. And then you feel guilty and bad for saying that you felt a type of way, and you then feel like you're in the wrong and the tables have turned. You may have thoughts and feelings like, oh, like, was that messed up of me to say that they made me feel this way? Am I wrong for having these feelings? You'll start to question. That's exactly how you know that you are being gaslit. So really, if anyone ever says, I never made you feel that way, immediately say, you can't determine how you made me feel. It doesn't matter what happened or what didn't happen. I know I felt this way and you did make me feel this way. Now what's tricky about that is technically people can't make you feel any type of way. They don't have control over that, but there's things people can do that can cause a reaction and for you to have your feelings. And you are valid in having your feelings when someone wrongs you or hurts you. It's their job to be like, I'm sorry, I did this and it made you feel this way. I'm sorry that I caused this. And the last way that a narcissist will gaslight you sneakily, is that even a word? It is now, is they will use compassionate words or use feelings as weapons. So I think this is one of the worst ones because it can look like their intentions are good and they paint it with a pretty bow of like trying to show compassion, but it's so inauthentic. And when you learn this pattern, you'll get really good at calling the BS. So what this would look like is, let's say that they had told a secret to someone that you had told them, hey, don't tell anyone or don't tell this specific person this specific thing. And so you get angry at them and you go to have a conversation and tell them how angry you are, and then all of a sudden they pull the card of like, I didn't mean to do that. I would never hurt you on purpose. It makes me so sad that you think I would hurt you. It is very inauthentic and empty. And they turn it around and make it about their feelings of like, oh my God, like basically implying like, how dare you think that I would do something like that to you? But really, I did do something like that to you. They are really not owning anything that they did. They make it look like they're owning it by saying like, oh my God, I never meant to hurt you. They're just turning it around and making it about them and making you the perpetrator. You are the one that's causing an issue. You're getting mad at me? Oh my God, no, I would never. This then can make you feel bad and you will let them off the hook, and then they don't take any accountability and they're not held responsible for the negative thing that they did or the things that they cause. And this is especially a problem because usually it will be a repeated offender. They'll continue to do this because they're not taking accountability and they're not owning for what they did, and they're not saying how they'll change in the future. They're basically just like, oh my God, like why would you ever think that? Like I would never do that to you. It hurts me so much. Like I love you so much. I would never do something like that to you. This one, if you can tell, I can get real condescending about it because this one makes me This one is just, to me, it's really gross and yucky because it is so manipulative. And it's so yucky that someone would try to make it seem like they're this loving person and they would never hurt someone, when in reality they did something wrong and they're not taking accountability for it. All of us have had moments where we don't take accountability for things, and you know, sometimes our ego gets in the way. That's fine, that happens. But it's gross when it's a continuous offense and they use this manipulative tactic of, you know, being that like helpless person, like, oh my god, why would you think that? So those are some of the 3 sneaky ways that a narcissist can gaslight you. And you know what, I will say, it's not even just a narcissist can do these things. Other people that are manipulative in general, because you don't have to be manipulative to be a narcissist. You could just be a manipulative person without being a narcissist. You can also have borderline or bipolar or whatever it is. You don't even have to have a mental disorder to be manipulative. But these are some things that they may do, and it's so important that we recognize these things so that way we don't fall into that rabbit hole. And the more we educate ourselves, the more we'll be able to call it out, and the more we'll be able to stay away from that type of behavior. So what do you guys think? Did you already know all of those signs? Let me know in the comments below. And please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with someone that you think may need it. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye guys. Don't forget to hit that Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if I don't even know. I was watching back clips and I realized one of my hairs is sticking out. I don't know which one. Here, you're having a problem today. What's your problem? You want some attention? Get back there. Whatever. So please excuse the hair. Whatever. No one even cares. I don't know. No one probably even cares, but yeah, they probably do. They're probably like, why is that girl's like hair sticking up? I don't know. Honestly, I don't have control over my hair, so keep your comments to yourself. Next one. Let's get it. Oh my god. Imagine I didn't record.